So it's 22 minutes to 8 o'clock, and homeowners right across the country are facing long and stressful battles at the moment to get their newly built housing developments finished. There's a report which has just been published which raises concerns about the quality of some new homes with defects known as snagging issues on the rise. Just outside Reading, the Pisani family live on a new build estate. They've had issues with their home since they moved out. Our reporter Curtis Lancaster has been to see them.
One of the first leaks that we actually had came directly from the top of the roof over here.
Gabriel and Lauren have had issues with their new home in Reading since they moved in last year, and they're talking me through the effects that a leak caused by a broken toilet has had on their hallway.
It then started to bubble and burst from this front corner over here, and this has been the case for over 10 months now.
The couple bought a 6-year-old show home on a Taylor Wimpey estate, so they expected the odd snag.
The oven didn't work. The carbon monoxide alarm, which is on the roof over here, that had actually expired by 3 months before we'd even moved into the property.
The overflow for the sink wasn't attached.
These are all actually wired incorrectly.
The list kept getting bigger and bigger, and in some areas, the house has been unsafe for their children.
Our daughter came in, and as you do when she's little, she went to sit on the toilet, and this fell off and fell into her when she was trying to use the loo.
So for over 4 months now, we've had a 70 mil exposed gap across the entire edge of the flooring of my son's bedroom. He's just turned 1 year old and is unable to use his bedroom.
With a heater falling on their daughter and the walls not attached to the floors in their son's bedroom, the issues have taken their toll on the family.
I've had a deterioration in my health. I've had to be going back and forward continuously to the doctors where I've been prescribed antidepressants. I'm on some heart pills to try and suppress some of my stress and anxiety. And we're just fearful for the next issue that's going to arise in the house. It's zapped all enjoyment from what should have been the most special purchase of our lives together as a newly married couple. And yeah, we've never got to benefit or have any joy from the property since we've been there.
There has always been something not working, broken, or
due to be repaired.
Just left.
The couple feels Taylor Wimpey has dismissed their complaints and they are calling for action.
I want all the works completed in my house that they're contractually obliged to complete.
We're still very well within our warranty.
Like we're still a year and 2 months in to all of our warranty that's there. I just want everything fixed, like at the end of the day, and I want these guys to stop gaslighting and to stop victim blaming.
We want to feel safe in our home, because it's not our home, it's just a house.
The Pisani family, who live just outside Reading, speaking to our reporter Curtis Lancaster. Now, we'd love to speak to Taylor Wimpey on the programme today. Unfortunately, all we have is a statement, but they say they're committed to providing homes and customer service to the highest standard, and they say they are sorry for what's happened, and then go on to say that they aim to complete outstanding work once the customer has confirmed their availability. Shame we can't actually go into more depth with them today. But listening to that is Jonathan Glover, the co-founder of Premier Snag, an independent company which inspects new build homes for defects. He's with us now. Just to tell us what we mean by Snag. What does that cover?
Oh, good morning. So snags can cover a large range of items within the home that haven't been installed correctly. So it can go from leaking sanitary ware. It can go from dents, unfinished paintwork, damages to glazing units or worktops. So large range of items can be covered under a snag, but it's basically items that haven't been completed to the correct standard within a home.
You were listening to the Pisanis there just outside Reading. Is that typical?
Yeah, so that's probably quite an extreme case. But yes, typically we are finding on a daily basis lots and lots of issues within new build homes. There are some really good sites out there. However, there are lots and lots of issues on developments which need to be addressed. And obviously, employing a professional snagging expert can help find those items, give you some peace of mind if your property has been built correctly. And if it hasn't, and there is items that need to be addressed, then obviously the list can be given to the developer and they can put them right.
Mr. and Mrs. Pisani were telling us there that they felt ignored by the developer, gaslit, in other words. Is there any pressure that can be put on the developer to finish the work they're meant to have done?
Yeah, so if you bought a new build home and the developer is registered with the NHQB, you can speak with NHQB. It's a free service.
What is NHQB?
It's the New Homes Quality Board. And they are there to, it's like the New Homes Ombudsman, and you can raise any issues with them, and they can take you through a process of trying to get those resolved with your developer. So that the support there is free, and if your developer has been registered with them, you can use that, which is a really good tool.
Now, it does appear, and there was this report I referred to from the Competition and Markets Authority last month saying that snagging issues, as you've brilliantly described them there, are on the rise. Why would that be? What's the reason behind this?
I think there's lots and lots of reasons. I think staffing numbers on large developments to ensure quality is controlled correctly is one issue. I think the drive for shareholder profits and completing a certain number of houses in a certain period of time also brings the quality down in poor workmanship. So there's lots and lots of things that have caused the issues. But like I say, there are lots and lots of good houses out there and houses that have been built correctly. But like I say, there's lots that haven't been. Similar to the one you've just mentioned. So, there's lots of issues within the industry. But if we could look to inspect properties before they're handed over to a customer, which is part of the pre-completion inspection, which has been brought in by the NHQB, then we can find any items, the developer can put them right before the customer moves in. And they'd be a lot happier. However, the pre-completion inspections that are currently being carried out, there is certain restrictions that are put on what you can inspect and how long you can be in some of the properties. So that is causing a couple of issues currently. However, I think over time that will give some big benefits to new home buyers.
Interesting. And Jonathan, with all complaints we keep hearing in all sorts of fields, all areas of life, get the evidence, get the evidence, get the evidence. Would you advise homeowners who've got a problem with fixtures that fall off the walls or gaps in the floors, whatever it might be, just to log things, take photographs, make recordings?
Yeah, I think the key thing there is timing. So as soon as you move into that property, is to either get it inspected professionally or inspect it yourself, produce a list with photos, issue that to the developer as soon as you can, because generally new build developers will ask you to issue a list within 7 days for any items that you believe are damaged. So you need to check your worktops and kitchens, all the units, wall units, sanitary ware in bathrooms to make sure there's no defects there, because they will only give you 7 days to report those. After that period, they would look at it and go, well, you could have scratched it, you could have damaged it yourself when you moved into the property within the first 7 days.
Really important tips there. Really glad we spoke to you today on the programme. Thanks, Jonathan.
Brilliant. No problem.
Bye-bye. Jonathan Glover is the co-founder of Premier Snag. If any of that is ringing a bell with you today, whether an issue you had in the past or maybe you've recently moved into a new home, we'd love to hear from you today. On the WhatsApp, here's our number, 08000 321 333. And if you start with Barks, it'll get straight through to us here at BBC Radio.